Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yo, welcome to the Lab
Lab
Africa
Africa
podcast.
podcast.
So this is where we share and we encourage young African entrepreneurs
Yeah.
to create their own businesses, and then it's a community that we're building, sharing our own experiences, bringing others on board, sharing
Yeah.
their experiences, hopefully to encourage the community that we are building. And it's been great so far. Yeah, and this is season 2,
Season 2.
episode 3.
Is it 3 or 4?
Oh, this is season 2, episode 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
episode
man.
4. Man.
Yeah, man. And I'm your regular host, Martinson.
And I'm Judah Domino.
Yeah, and today is exciting because of the subject
Yeah.
we're talking. It's a current situation here in Ghana. And if you've been listening to what is happening here in Ghana, that is if you're not a Ghanaian, then you know that there's an inflation problem happening here in Ghana since the beginning of the year.
Like wild
Wow.
inflation. man.
And we decided to have a conversation about it and how to go up around these inflation
Yes,
issues as an
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So that is the discussion for today. If you're interested, then stick out while the intro rolls. Okay, Judah.
What's up?
I think this is an interesting subject to talk about because it's been on the radio, it's everywhere, it's on the lips of every Ghanaian each and
Tell me
every
about
day,
it. Tell me
like
about
in the past 3 months currently, and
Yeah.
and uh, and the situation doesn't look like it's getting any better, right? But before we get into the whole situation here in Ghana, let's kind of explain to some of our audience who probably might be a bit confused or don't understand what inflation is. What do you, in your understanding, what is inflation?
Inflation is not being able to acquire something, not be able to acquire goods and services.
Okay.
So it's when previously you're given a specific amount of money as a salary, then what it can buy, it cannot buy it now. Like, so you could, basically it's the rising of prices on the market, basically.
Okay.
So it's what they normally term as what's the name? Low spending power.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like how you try to explain it. Yeah. It's so that anybody can understand it. So
Yeah.
just the fact that prices go up,
Yeah.
and then now you are unable, or the
The consumer.
the consumer is unable to afford because of the price hikes and all of that.
Yeah.
That is simple layman terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is currently the situation here in Ghana.
Yeah. it's
Fuel
wild.
pricing,
It's wild. Fuel is on the roof.
food.
Even food produced in Ghana,
Yeah.
it's off there. Like I hear things are doubling. Some things are doubling.
Yeah.
Services we don't see because services kindly are charging crazy,
Yeah.
and it's wild.
Yeah. Because when the fuel goes up, transportation goes up.
Yeah.
When the transportation goes up, the market woman is going to increase
Yes.
the price of her food because she's
Yeah.
paying for the transportation. She needs to be, and everything is gone up the roof like recently. And what has been the contributing factor for the inflation? So
Also, don't forget that there was the exchange rate.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Forex.
that's another factor for the
yeah.
current inflation here in Ghana because of the exchange rate. Unfortunately, what I've learned over the years, or I know over the years, is that our economy has been so much dependent on forex.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes, because we import a lot.
We import almost everything, man.
Yes, we import almost everything. So then, when you're looking at it, when our CD is not that strong, when the demand on the dollar
Goes up.
is more,
Yeah.
then the dollar rate goes up,
Yeah.
and then our CD becomes more kind of like
And
worthless.
this is it's like a trend because most
Yeah.
of the time, the beginning of the year, the demand of the dollar goes up because consumption goes up, and then
Yeah.
people want to bring in more stuff, and then when they are bringing in or important stuff, they
Yeah.
are exchanging the cities into the dollar, and then now, and
So what someone also said was that it's because so most of the time people get stuff during December
okay,
and stuff. So in January now people are paying back. So now there's more of the changing of the like was in the
Yeah.
forex trading.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
more in January, February because people are either doing new shipping for to import,
Yeah.
importing new stuff, or people are now paying back.
Yeah.
And some people are also taking money out of the country because And majority of the businesses we also have in Ghana
Yeah.
are foreign owned.
Mm.
So then they take their money outside
out of the
outside the
country.
country.
Yeah, so they also change it and send it
So
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
practically. So like, and one of the effect of this inflation is, I remember just last year,
Yeah,
before the year ended, I would fill the car. Uh, it's 1.6 liter engine. I'll fill it with around 200 and I think even that time I thought it was expensive because I felt it was around 280 cedis,
yeah.
and I thought it was that expensive.
Wow.
Yesterday I went to fill it, it was 390 cedis.
What?
So over 100 cedis more.
Yeah, 110 cities.
Yeah, 110 cedis more increment since just December, and then where we're in April right now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really that high. And then at that time I was complaining that everything is going up because
Yeah.
that was the few years before, 2 years or a year before then, I was filling the car with just 190.
What?
So you see how the economy, the inflation is going up so high. So like if you're an entrepreneur living in such an economy, like it's gonna be like you need to be really smart. You need to be very tactical in how you operate,
Yeah.
else your business is gonna go down, 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 and you have to you're gonna be forced to close.
True.
Yeah.
True. Because at the end of the day, if you're running a service and it's so expensive, then how can a normal Ghanaian whose pay has not changed?
Yeah, most of the salaried workers.
Salaried workers, those who earn salaries, majority of them, their pay has not changed.
Yeah.
But then the cost of living has increased.
Yeah.
And once that affects, I don't understand why people also increase rent when I understand, but I don't understand why they have to increase rent, because now when the fuel prices goes up, I understand why the market woman, the prices will go up.
Yeah.
I understand why the transportational cost,
Mm-hmm.
as you're moving around Uber, going to work, I understand why it will go up. But then somebody who has built a house and is renting their house, I don't understand why they also have to increase their rents like crazily.
Well, I guess maintenance will go up, so there is he
You
will
can
charge
say
more.
that, or you can also say that, okay, so that he can also afford to be able to live with the lifestyle.
Yeah,
he's
they
also
are
living.
living. Probably that's also the main reason why. So it's we've mentioned two factors, which is the oil price going up, mainly because of also the recent incidents in Europe, like in the Eastern
Yeah.
Europe, and the dollar rate exchange. What I believe there are other factors as well.
So far, for me, I just think it's the two.
Because one of the things I was thinking about was the fact that I don't understand why we live in a country and a lot of businesses are charging in dollars or in forex, or so okay, it also ties to the forex
Yeah.
trade, because because that also pushes the demand for the dollar up. You remember the last February we had with the Valentine's thing, and then
Yeah.
most of the hotels we had to go to, we are going to pay in dollars.
Yes.
And then these hotels recently, as the city keeps depreciating against the dollar,
Yeah.
their services is the same, but now
Yeah.
they're going to be charging more because you're going to be paying more cities
Yes.
for the dollar to be able to afford that place. And it's really bad for the economy. And it's bad for most of
True.
the Ghanaians who are not being paid in dollars.
True.
And
it's not like I don't want to complain, but it's because we as a country are not. I believe we are not industry driven as a country, because look at it, we produce oil.
Yeah.
But we don't refine the oil here.
Yeah.
We produce cocoa, but yet still we make. So recently we just heard on the news, we make like $2 billion or something like that from cocoa.
Yeah.
And then is it Belarus or some other country makes
I
about?
I think Switzerland makes
Switzerland
about
or
6
something
billion.
makes about 6 billion from the cocoa that we produce and we earn too,
Yeah.
and they refine it and do all these
So times 3 is the profit.
things with it, and then they get times 3.
Yeah.
So then, if we decide to stop, or we decide to reduce how the quantity we send out, and then try to improve the what's the name? How do I call it?
Or refine it
Move from
before.
raw material exporting to now refined goods exporting.
Yeah.
Then our revenue will now increase.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
So I mean, there are so many factors here in Ghana, but
so many.
what I would like to share with our audience is the fact that just the recent one is mainly because of the forex,
Yeah,
going up, like, and then the city depreciating against the dollar,
yeah,
and then the current oil price, which I mean, it's not just a Ghana thing; it's a
yeah.
worldwide
It's a
thing
worldwide
currently.
thing.
So
But then also our taxes are crazy. The taxes on the oil are crazy.
yeah.
So
Because
that is a, that is
that
also
time when
another
I
reason.
was listening to the kind of levies that are on the
Yeah,
fuel, I was like, yo, what are all these levies?
yeah,
So it really pushes. So when the prices go up, it really pushes it up way high for the ordinary Ghanaian, or most of the Ghanaians to afford that kind of fuel price.
yeah,
All right. So now let's see. We are operating our own businesses, right?
yeah.
And we are hoping this conversation would also give an idea or encourage some of the young entrepreneurs within some of this challenging time how to maneuver around this current situation. What, in your opinion, should the entrepreneur at this moment in time do to be able to survive, and not just survive, and hopefully grow beyond this?
First of all, I want to just say, like, all the entrepreneurs in Ghana, in Africa, at this time, if your business is still operating and still working, you've done well. Congratulations. But you can still do better. And let's all push and do better. One thing I believe that can help us through this time is looking out for, because the government is, I believe, they say they are doing so much. So currently, Ghana, they introduced the L.A.B, which is supposed to tax us when we transact, when we do transactions electronically.
Electronic
Any
transactions.
electronical transaction will be taxed 1.7%.
I think it's 1.5 now.
1.5%, yes. 1.5%. So now, which means that they said they'll use that to create jobs and stuff for people, which then means that then they will create avenues for us to go for a partnership with the government so that then we'll be funded. So I believe entrepreneurs should just look out for things like that, because we are paying for it, and this is what they promised us. So if they don't do it, then we can now go for their head. Yeah, basically. Yeah, because I think that is one of the reasons. What do you think?
I for me, one of the things I think I would encourage young entrepreneurs, even like myself, at this moment, to do is the fact that which means you probably have to work harder, get more clients,
Yeah,
and then for me, in my space of work, the the what I'm looking forward to is now find more foreign clients.
yeah,
Okay, I do get opportunities to have other foreign clients that I do work with, but I'm actually now looking forward to do work more with foreign clients, because then I know with the foreign currency coming in, I do have a slightly solid ground
yeah.
than the
The one charging in cities.
yeah,
And
the
the ones,
Ghanaian
yeah,
clients, because it's unstable, and then the next moment I have this amount, I think I'll be able to buy this equipment. The next day I'm unable to buy that same equipment,
yeah,
and I mean, not that the equipment they've upgraded it's the same thing, but the CD just keeps depreciating.
yeah,
So for me, that is one thing I'm actually working currently towards, having more foreign clients than local clients, because I mean, I'm thinking of how
yeah,
I'm going to survive and hopefully grow my business. Yeah. The second point that I might add to it is, now you need to see where you are going. You are going. I don't think we need to be careful. Also, I often encourage that charging a little bit more in the case of uncertainty or whatever might happen.
yeah,
But I need to be careful. You can apply. I would advise that you can apply that taxes in this situation,
yeah,
but be careful not to overcharge.
yeah.
To
True.
overcharge so much that now, because now everybody is hot. I mean, like
Yeah.
everybody is like low on cash because everything has gone up, but you need to charge such that you don't overburden your clients. So
True.
for me, I try to be reasonable in my price recently. You know, when people come around, you know, we talk and then we come to an understanding that this is the whole situation we both having.
Yeah.
So let's come to a common ground that you benefit and I benefit. You know, and we are not. I'm not losing out because like when I'm charging, I'm looking forward to the fact that now I'll be able to upgrade my equipment, upgrade my team, you know, I'll be able to upgrade myself in terms of training and other stuff, which is money. So if I'm unable to do that, then it means I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is also the time. What one thing I'd also like to add is also this is also the time which young entrepreneurs, when you, for us to look for what's the name, investors outside country, because like there are some investors outside Ghana, outside Africa that are looking at, how do I call it, investing in our economy.
Okay.
But then we have to give them a reason for them not to come start up something else, but partner with us to be able to move forward. Because now if you have foreign investors coming in and partnering with you, then you can be able to do more exploits and more stuff here, even diversify and do something else. But then if you are still running on your own, it gets harder this time. Because now if your clientele are not also increasing, because now some of the clients will drop because then they cannot afford your services like they can. So now if you have people who still get a vision and they still see that, okay, this is a seasonal thing, it will still pass, but let's still partner with you to see you through this kind of like this period, then you're sure of being able to afford to pay your staff. If you have any, you'll be sure to have, you can afford to be okay
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as you're talking, I was just trying to think about my situation and see how I'm going to advise myself if I'm talking to myself. Like,
Yeah.
so we're applying for a fund to do a project.
Yeah.
And then this particular fund, you are presenting a budget, right, for the project.
Yes.
But the interesting thing is that we are restricted, though it's a foreign foundation we are applying the funds from. We
Yeah.
are restricted. The currency should be in Ghana cedis.
For real?
Yeah, yeah. So your budget you're gonna present should be in your local currency.
Wow.
And then I'm just thinking about the fact that so if I present this budget with to apply for this funds for the project we're hoping to do, and I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to respond back.
Yeah.
So by the time they respond back, probably that city has depreciated, and whatever they're going to give me,
Might not be able to do that.
might not be able to,
finish the job. Yeah.
you know, and that was a dilemma that was in my mind right now as you were.
But the vice president said he's putting $2 billion into the economy just to be able to stabilize the. I don't know whether to reduce it, but I think it will maintain it for a long. I think from now. So the predictions the economics guys are saying is that if he puts that $2 billion in it, for like the next 6 months, we'll be okay. But after that, where will we be?
So it's like putting a what do you call it? You see, I'm hoping most of our African audience know this. So like the tripod, what do you call it? Fireplace.
Yeah.
So you have the 3 leg
Yeah.
thing, and you put the firewood in there, and then you put on. If one of them is gone, and instead of replacing it, you decide to just use some stone to adjust
Or
it,
wood.
or wood to adjust it, wood to adjust it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down eventually, and then the 2 leg is not going to support the pot you're going to be putting on it. And I feel like some of our solutions towards some of these situations are not really solutions. They are just adjustments, and then adjustments is not for me. I don't see it as solution to a problem. You need to solve the problem so that now you can move on Because if you adjust it, the problem still lingers. Eventually, it's going to raise its head up again.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have no idea. Seriously, I'm not really a political person, so I don't want to even get into the politics of the. But unfortunately, everything has become a politics in this situation where it should have been a national situation where, like, all stakeholders could be involved and find a solution to this problem. But unfortunately, it looks like it's been left to one party to kind of solve a whole nation's problem. You know, not that it's been left with one party to solve that, but it seems like one party has decided we are going to bring the solution. We're not going to include.
And this is the more reason why it's important for us on this podcast to connect entrepreneurs together, because now we can begin to now sit down as a community and then say, you know what, guys, this is a situation we are all facing. How can we help each other out?
Yeah.
Because sometimes our businesses kind of connect. Because like for me, with the traveling and all that, I need you for my branding, for my videography and everything. And everything I post, majority, like 90% of the time, is from Stylus Innovative. And that is the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing part about connecting with other entrepreneurs. Because then in that case, we get to carry each other and we get to move forward together. Because in this season, you cannot run the race alone.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. That's what I'm really looking for. I'm not really seeing the impact yet. I'm really hoping that more doors will be open for that, the intercontinental trade thing. You know, that will give a lot of young African entrepreneurs that opportunity to explore, you know, beyond their own country, and then begin to trade, begin to do businesses, begin to connect with other entrepreneurs within the continent. Because that I believe is going to help. It's going to help us kind of help us hold each other together and then build
Africa.
Build the economy.
But I think the only way we can do that is if the African Union takes this up.
Oh, well, that is what it is right now, right? The African Union has decided to put out that.
You sure? Because I thought it was I thought it was a Ghana thing.
No, it's the whole Africa agreement thing right now.
Oh, okay.
It's just that the headquarters is here in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
You get it. They've decided to make Ghana there, but it's an African thing currently. But I'm really hoping it's not just going to be like a charade. It's not just going to be something like we just say it and it just, it's going to be like something real that is. I'm not really seeing the impacts, yet. And it's been years since we've been talking about this. Yeah, yes. I'm actually looking forward to it because I heard there's going to be that they're creating that platform where we could trade with each other with our own currency.
Wow.
Which is, I believe, is a really good.
Because even for ECOWAS, we were planning on what's the name, having our own currency, which was the ECO. But then it died with whoever brought up the idea. And that's how it ended.
Yeah. But I think being able to trade with your own currency within the African, it's gonna help. It's gonna go a long way to help as well.
And breaking down the borders we have, because then we can really, really do some wild. Because sometimes the decision, there was a name, how do I call it? Your business in your country sometimes is because of the behavior of the country and all that. It's really hard for you to really kind of like expand and scale up. But then if you have a tech company, I advise people, if you have a tech company, the best place to be is either Nigeria or Kenya.
Yeah.
South Africa is also there.
Yeah, South Africa is also there, yeah.
But then when you look at Ghana, like it is
tough ground to grow as a tech.
It's a tough ground. So
it is true. So hopefully when this this intercontinental free trade thing happens, it's going to give us the opportunity to kind of explore, go around, and then hopefully we can set up a business, or do business with South Africans and Kenyans without that difficulty that we've been facing, trying to do such business.
Because when I came down, I was trying to export fabrics to Kenya and some other African countries, and it was tough. And later on, I was like, I need money because I'll deal with it. Because they think always when I talk to the guys for shipping, they are always like, they have to send the goods to Europe,
man.
Then look for a ship which was going
coming
to that
to
country.
Kenya.
Then they
Oh
would
man,
put the things in the ship and then transport. I'm like, that's too much.
such a
That would take a long
such a
time for the
really
goods to
challenging
get there.
situation we find ourselves as
Yeah,
Africans. We can't even trade within ourselves. Ship going to Kenya, we can't find it. You know, so
because
it's a
even though you have to do flights, which is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Um, as we're talking, I'm realizing the fact that we are mostly talking about entrepreneurs in the service industry, but there are other entrepreneurs who are actually selling like tangible products,
Yes.
like they're selling like, you know, stuff. And then, well, I remember the other time when we were talking about this same inflation thing. One of the things I shared, you were asking, so what about the pricing of some of the products that is there before the inflation,
Yeah,
and then when the
like
inflation,
do you know what the fuel people do? And you explained it to me, so I understood it. Okay, I knew it, but I didn't want to accept it because if the prices of fuel goes up right now,
yeah,
the oil they have, the fuel they have in the
in
tank,
the reserve,
currently that price just goes up instantly, and
yeah,
I'm like, yo, dude, why? What's up? Like it doesn't have to be so.
yeah,
But then what you said, which is for them to be able to buy the next one.
yeah,
Because the people who are selling it are not going to say, because you bought this for that price, let me
yeah,
give it to you at a reduced price because you
yeah,
don't have that much
yeah,
cash.
yeah.
Doesn't work that
Yeah,
way.
so to the entrepreneurs who are either selling, I mean, have
Yeah.
their own boutique, selling other stuff, like, I mean, you buy stuff to sell. I
Yes.
think that is one of the smart ways. That also you need to be like really, what's the word? Uh, Wise about it,
Yes.
how you charge it, so that you don't overcharge, because that is the thing with overcharging, because the Ghanaian or the African consumer doesn't have that strong purchasing power.
Yeah.
So when you
Currently.
burden, yeah, currently, so when you burden uh, them with that high price, you might lose your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have to go and look somewhere else. So you bought your, let's say you're selling phones, and then these phones are not made here in Ghana, so
Yeah.
you buy them abroad, and then you're selling it. So you're selling it before you were selling it. Let's say you bought it 900, you're selling it. You're not making a huge profit selling 1,000, but then dollar's gone up.
Yeah.
So probably then you have to buy it such that you can buy the next phone.
Yes.
And in probably you have to consider, am I going to make profit out of this, or just so that I could afford the next phone? You get it? And these are some of the things you have to consider depending on where your business is currently, because if your business is not in such a place where your customers have that confidence in you, and then they keep seeing your price going up and up, you know, you might lose them. So sometimes you might price it up enough so that you'll be able to afford the next stock
True.
and not so much profits.
True.
But if you have that solid client base, then you probably might be able to charge with a little profit on it and be able to buy the next stock, and then
Yeah.
also have some pocket money there, for yourself.
Yeah.
And so,
But my advice for such a person is know what you're selling. Also know what you're selling, because if you are selling, let's say, a phone, know that phones are not food.
mm,
Because if I buy a phone, it will take me maybe next year for me to come and buy that phone. So just know that, like, be wise with it, so that at the end of the day, you not have dead stock. Your things will be moving. Because sometimes people price it. Currently, that's what people are doing, pricing things outrageously. And then you're like, if you check, even with the dollar rate, it's much better to buy it from China
yeah,
than from whichever platform than
yeah,
to buy it here.
yeah,
Which also then affects forex again,
yeah. It
because
does.
now we're also dealing with the
Yeah, it does. It does. When he said that, it reminded me of a friend who I was. He was asking for particular equipment, and I said, "Oh, you could get it." I was like, "Yo, man, this is pretty overpriced it too much, so I probably might not be buy it here in Ghana."
yeah
And that is also true. So we need to be careful, because it's become a very connected world right now, where now we're buying from Amazon, we are buying from Ali, and different. There are so many platforms
yeah
out there. So if you are not wise in how you're pricing your stuff, you're going to lose them, and then it's going to be like that same cycle where we're changing. Everybody's now buying from abroad, and it's going to be more exchange rates, and now inflation is going to go up. And then,
Yeah.
for me, thinking about that, I think we just need to build a strong industry here in
Yes.
Ghana to be
Yes.
capable of
Yes.
taking care of our needs, especially our basic need. There are certain things we will probably it will take us time to get it. Certain technologies that will take us time to get it that will probably will be. But there are most things that I don't think there's a need for us to be importing all the time, like
Yeah.
rice and
True.
toothpick
Toothpicks.
and all of that. I don't. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, we could have a strong poultry farm here in Ghana, yet we're importing so much into the country. It's ridiculous.
And this is the more reason why, like, this podcast is so key, because the next generation has to do better than what our parents have done
yeah,
and what the generation before us have done. That's the more reason why we will charge a lot of you to just boldly step out there and then start doing exploits.
yeah,
Because for us to get to a place where we can say, like, let's stop importing and let's give, we also have to try our best
yeah,
to step out there. So then the government can say, you know what, let's stop importing rice. Now we have a lot of rice farmers. Because when they all come together as one and they start making noise, then somebody will listen and say, let's stop importing rice. Now let's start putting much more pressure on our people, which then will mean there'll be more rice companies, there'll be more rice production,
yeah.
to the point that rice in Ghana will be cheaper. Because currently, Ghana rice is much more expensive than imported rice.
Yeah, I mean, and then the other day on the news, when the owner of one of the rice companies here was explaining it, it's you sympathize with them, and then you understand why these prices are,
Yeah.
because they're not getting the funds.
Yes.
They're not getting the support to do all of this.
And even the
So-
demand is low for them.
Yeah, so production is high. The price of production is high.
Yeah.
Even though he says when there's that opportunity or the funds or the subsidies, if they get it, they're getting it. It's going to be easy to be able to produce to cater for the whole need of this country. That's what that person said.
Yeah.
So we have that capacity. Unfortunately, we are not. There's no. Like our government likes to say, the fundamentals are not right.
Yeah.
The
And
fundamentals
it's true.
are not right, so
it has
it's not.
exposed us.
It's as exposed as so the fundamentals are not right. So like we're unfortunately unable to produce to meet the demand or the needs of the country.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the end hoping to encourage all of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur here in Ghana. That is, I understand it's not easy. It's that difficult, and I'm hoping you're not going to give up yet. You're going to
Yeah.
keep pushing forward and think innovative ways around this situation.
Yeah.
How you pricing, like I said, price in such a way that you and your customers, like, you are on a common ground. You understand each other, because this is what we all find ourselves with. The inflation, unfortunately, the inflation doesn't affect some people, and it doesn't affect if it's not affecting you because probably you are paid in dollars. I'm not talking to that person. I'm talking to the ordinary. I'm talking to the ordinary, Ghanaian who gets his cities in and hoping to survive.
And now I'd like to talk to the African entrepreneur. These are crazy times. COVID happened. It was a big blow. I was stuck in Kenya back then. It was a crazy blow for people in the transport business. People doing their own, what they call biashara in Swahili, business and everything. I just want to encourage you. Let's all keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. And let's connect. And let's see how we can, even before they do this world trade or African trade or whatever it is, intercontinental trade, let's begin to have conversations, laying down the pipeline. So then once this thing kicks off in the next 2 years, 3 years, we've gotten the ground individually enough to now connect and do wild things instantly.
Yeah.
And so I just want to encourage all of you, let's not stop. Like, it will get hard. But when it gets hard, just remember, like, once there's a will, there's a way. And once you have life, you surely pull through in this season.
I think my last word will be, we watched a video a few days ago about the African American
Yeah.
high class or something in
Yeah.
America currently. And then it was interesting to understand that one of the things that some of them are doing is the trade with among the blacks
Yes.
in America, which also is helping black businesses. So there's that movement of buy black.
Yeah.
And then I believe if we are also going to embark on that movement of buy African,
Yeah.
you get it, or trade African is going to really,
Yeah.
solidify our economy. It's going to really solidify what we are doing, what we have currently, and then it's going to push us. It's going to push the African entrepreneur. It's going to push the African businessman or companies that are already established.
True.
And it's really going to help a lot.
True. Because in the next 2 to 3 years, we want to see the next African Amazon, like Amazon just for Africa,
Yeah.
something like that just for Africa.
Yeah.
Whereby when I buy something, I know in the let's say 2 weeks
Yeah.
at tops, I
Yeah.
will get it.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that, because also that will create a lot of jobs in so many countries,
man.
in every African country. That will, like, let's start thinking in that kind of light, and then, man, like we always say, we can make Africa great again.
See you
See you.
in the next episode.
Yeah.